What's good, y'all? We back with another video. This topic's been in my head for the past couple of days. Doc Dark uploaded a video. Well, no, he uploaded two videos technically. He uploaded one and then he uploaded another one like 3 days after that about gaming being a luxury hobby. And I agree with Doc Dark when he says it's not a luxury hobby. And I wanted to expand upon that. I wanted to expand on that. Like, let me tell y'all, right? So, growing up, I've literally had video games since I was in diapers. Since I was in diapers, I've had video games. My grandmother was a gamer, for crying out loud. Her sisters were gamers. If there was a Pac-Man machine around, they had to get their game of Pac-Man in. All right, so my dad was a gamer. My mother played video games. My whole family was just gamers. Okay. Now, all my friends, and I mentioned in that Austin Metcalf video that I had poor friends, that were not as fortunate as I was in many cases. However, all my friends, and I mean literally all my friends, had a video game somewhere, somehow, whether they were poor, rich, upper middle class, lower middle class, whatever. We all had video games. Like, I had a friend who was homeless. His family was homeless. He still had video games. Even they had video games, bro. Hey. Like, video games was never like a luxury hobby. It's not. It was never a luxury activity. And, I mentioned a few times my best friend that recently passed away, right? Gregory. He played a lot of video games. And, like, he probably had the same amount of consoles as I did, but, like, I didn't go out and just get $60 games so often like that. Like, I would play the same games over and over and over again for periods of time until I was able to get a new game. You know what I mean? But Gregory was like a hardcore gamer, okay? Like, he would play a lot of video games for a very low price. How did he do this? He was a GameFly subscriber. He was a GameFly subscriber. So I remember, like, we would be standing outside for the bus before school started in the morning, and he would tell me about all these games he was playing, how cool they were through GameFly. Like, he would order a game, beat it, send it back, order a game, beat it, send it back. And he was subscribed to GameFly for a hot minute, all right? In fact, he's the reason I've gotten into a lot of the franchises I'm into. Because he would get them from GameFly, and then he would tell me all about it, and then I'd go out and eventually get it myself, and yeah, like, he got me into a lot of that stuff. So, like, GameFly was basically the original Game Pass, Like, like, he didn't care about owning the game. He just wanted to play the games, experience the games. He didn't care about owning it. That was an afterthought. As long as he was able to play it, beat it, and then, get another game after that, that's all he cared about. He just wanted to play games. Like we've been trying to tell everybody for the past couple years. Just play video games, right? Now, that got me thinking, right? What got me is the fact that, Like I don't want to be I don't intend this to be a console war video, but I gotta bring this up. I gotta bring this up because it applies to it. You know, console elitists, mainly PlayStation fanboys and technically now Nintendo fanboys as well. You know, they go out of their way to find any reason to just spend gratuitous amounts of money on games when they don't have to. Like, PlayStation fanboys will call Game Pass subscribers broke for not dropping $70 for video games. But my thing is like, why would you not find the cheapest way to play as many video games as possible? You know, it just doesn't make it, like, in my head. Nah, I am a hardcore gamer through and through. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hate saying that I am, but I definitely am. Like, I've got too many games on my end going on. Way too many. So it doesn't make sense to me why you would want to spend as much money as possible to play games. The bare minimum, too. Like, you're playing the bare minimum of video games for a lot of money. Like, Xbox is over here just handing us games, right? You literally make the hobby a luxury when it does not have to be, and honestly, it never even was. It never was a luxury. Ever. It never was. Especially now, like this day and age, for anybody to say that this hobby is a luxury is crazy. You know, like I just said, Xbox is literally handing Game Pass subscribers games. Like, I know PlayStation fanboys made the argument of us spending $200+ a year for video games. You think that's a lot of money to spend in a year? $200+? You think that's a lot of money? That's not a lot of money. That's not even half the paycheck I get every 2 weeks. Give me a break. That is not a lot of money. $200+ in a year? You really tried to make that argument, but every time PlayStation drops an exclusive, it's $70. It goes 70, 140, and then already you're at, like, how much is that after 140? Like, that's $210 for 3 games. That's crazy. Okay? Whereas Game Pass is giving you how many games? Like, we're getting like 13 games in a lineup. More than that, 13+. And on top of the fact that, like, y'all know I be emulating my games, right? Like, so, like, the amount of games I get on a regular basis is absolutely insane. From an actual gamer's perspective, the amount of games I have access to, my inner child is more than satisfied. If you would have told me that I could have as many games as I want for free, most of the games I have now are just, I did not pay for them at all. I have them just installed on some SD card. If you would have told my 6-year-old self that I would be able to have an endless amount of games just willy-nilly, I would have thought you were smoking crack and you were lying to me. But it's a freaking reality, you know? And what's crazy is a lot of modern day gamers and console elitists don't even realize how accessible video games actually are. And the thing is, console elitists, again, PlayStation fanboys specifically, what were they telling us? Oh, who cares about old games? Gamers do. People who actually play video games. They care. You know, people who actually enjoy the freaking hobby. It's just made me realize that like a lot of you are just, I can't even believe I'm using this word. A lot of y'all are just posers, man. You're gamer wannabes. Like, you don't, I don't know what it is. It's like I don't think you want to be into this hobby like that. I don't really know what it is exactly. It doesn't make sense. Like, you give the most terrible takes. Talking specifically about console elitists, they give the most terrible takes. Their opinions are typically always wrong. They just look stupid anytime they upload a video. Like, they just self-project a lot. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And I kind of realized that when Doc Dark uploaded that video. It's like, yeah, this hobby really is not a luxury. And you know what's crazy is I think it's the most accessible it's ever been. It's the most accessible it's ever been. You know, I see on social media a lot that, you know, people say this is the, like, worst generation of gaming. I beg to differ, and I realize this also. It's not the worst. It's actually, in my opinion, I think a lot of gamers are just blind, stuck in the past, and they don't realize what's right in front of them. This, in my opinion, is one of the best generations of gaming because of how accessible it is. Like I just said, like a lot of y'all don't realize that you can just have games. You can just have them. You don't need to pay ridiculous amounts of money. You could just have them now. You just go on a website, get the emulator, get some ROMs, and bam, you're playing video games all day. Like, y'all don't realize how good you got it right now. And I'm very grateful at the age of 30, I'm still young, that I'm able to, like, you know, experience the joy of being able to just have games willy-nilly like this. I never would have thought we would get to this point. This is not a luxury hobby. Like, video games, I feel like video games have always just been as normal as going outside and playing with the homies. And every homie I played outside with, guess what? We all had a freaking game console somewhere. You know? That's how I feel about it. Like, Doc Dark is 110% correct. This is not a luxury hobby. Especially now that, you know, I'm an adult, I have a job, I have money. So now I yeah, I can really afford video games at this point. But I try not to spend ridiculous amounts of money on it, because what's the point if I don't have to? I don't have to. Subravian already showed y'all the value in Game Pass. Also, shout out to Subravian. It's his freaking birthday. Bruv Nation be out here. Happy birthday, Subravian. You know, like, stop spending money when you don't have to freaking spend it. You're the one calling us broke. You're making the decision to spend stupid amounts of money. You want to see my savings jar? I don't just go out of my way to spend money. I save it. The math doesn't math here. Like I said, a lot of these people, a lot of these so-called gamers are just posers. Y'all hate old games. What kind of gamer hates old games? A game I haven't played yet is a new game to me. I'm gonna play old games all freaking day. They're the best. I'm just saying. That's my 2 cents on it. How does everybody else feel about that? Do you think gaming is a luxury hobby? This is a really nice topic. I like this topic. In the meantime, deuces.